What is going on, everyone, to tonight's tournament? It is time for some World War II action. It is myself, Lando, here from the UMG studio, joined alongside James Matone from home. James, we have a number of different awesome matches tonight. Some amazing teams going to be in our first tournament to kind of break off the World War II season. Of course, tonight it will be a 4v4 search and destroy. And we're starting things off with eUnited and a team known as Emperor. Of course, everyone at home most likely being aware of one of these two teams. And I think it is fair to say that, James, eUnited, very, very well-known team with a lot of pretty well-known players at that.
Lando, I honestly think that this year is going to be fantastic. And if you don't know already about the teams that are involved in this UMG Prime tournament, then let me just give you an idea. Envy is here. eUnited is here. FaZe is here. Nadeshot is back in action. And that just scratches the surface of the tens of teams. I believe it's about 80 that are in here. And of course, also, Lando, we have our friends from the casting desk, Maven and Courage, trying not to get knocked out by the second round.
Absolutely not. It's going to be a difficult task at that to try and make it past really any round at that, because the amount of teams, like you said, that are in tonight's tournament. To kind of break things down for you guys, of course, it is a 4v4 search and destroy, a major prize pool on the line at that, and of course, it will be 3v3 or a best of 3 up into the finals as well. Of course, you're going to be playing the number of different maps that are offered currently. Of course, St. Marie, Dumont, Adrenus Forest, USS Texas, London Docks, and Gibraltar Search and Destroy, just to kind of keep things up to date. Of course, we do apologize, guys. I know we are having some issues with the servers right now. We're trying to obviously get into each lobby. I know everyone's kind of having or experiencing issues post-release. I think it's fair to say. I know everyone was really hyped to play last night, and things were kind of being mixed up. And along with you guys learning things, we are as well. And I believe we're trying to get into the lobby and trying to work things out. I'm just seeing a blank screen, to be honest, just a random, beautiful screen. But we are trying to figure things out, make sure things are good to go. But honestly, when it comes down to this matchup, eUnited versus Emperor, I think we definitely have to favor a squad like eUnited just because of, obviously, their background. You know, things are new when it comes to World War II, but I was watching Clayster do some pretty naughty things with that bar. What was it, yesterday, before the game even released. He was having a number of different strategies, and eUnited was screaming pretty hard. Were there any streams that you got to catch yesterday, James, or even this morning for players, or professional players playing World War II?
Professional players, I mean, honestly, I had the luxury of facing off against Nadeshot, Karma, and a couple of others on Team Deathmatch pre-release, and I got the 4. Like, literally, my face was on the 4 the entire time. So, naturally, I pretty much tuned into their streams. Nadeshot, it honestly seems like he's back in the swing of things. He's like ready to go. He is ready to be one of those guys who's going to dominate World War II. So I've been watching a lot of him, and of course around the Optic streams, and of course the race, which is for the Call of Duty endowment. If you guys haven't already donated to that, please do. I mean, it's a charity that gives vets jobs when they come back from war. That's an awesome cause. So make sure to go over there and donate.
Absolutely, it's a fantastic cause at that. And I believe we should be good to go. Much like everyone else, we're trying to stream some World War II, trying to get some tournaments ready for you guys. I think we are loading up for Adrenus Forest to be map number 1. And I believe we should be good to go. I think things are loaded up. I know some players are talking in PS4 chat to make sure things are good to go. I think everything has been finalized. And map number 1 should be one to start up, I hope. I'm praying. I'm sitting here with my controller just praying to God that we're able to get to the game. Oh, look at this overhead angle. This little overhead camera angle. I love this.
It is definitely a beautiful thing, Lando. I mean, this is one of the newest things that's involved in... really involved in this new game. It's pretty much an overhead camera view, but it's also used as pretty much like first-person view, as well as this third-person. So right now, we're kind of seeing pretty much everyone around the map at this point. As Codcaster is bugging out a little bit. RC is going to get down first, but Prestinni takes down Sit Down Kid for the first blood. So 3v3 situation. Triggy goes down as well. And it seems at this point, Prestinni, Silly, and Clayster are up against Krusty and Swirllix. And at this point, we're going to see if we can get everything figured out here again. Codcaster, of course, debuting for the first time here in this tournament. Obviously going to have its fair share of glitches and moments.
Somebody went around. I'm not sure what happened.
But eUnited is going to actually take the first round of this one. Silly Pretty solid shot there, FG42. I mean, that's one of the favorite guns that people are going to in the beginning of this game.
Yeah, and actually taking a note, Silly was one of the first guys to kind of grab the FG42. Everyone kind of immediately went toward that bar, really what weapon to kind of prefer off the start. But I believe you should be good to go now. Of course, players preferring different weapons. Clayster, one to actually rock the sniper rifle quite a bit. Gonna be rocking that one off the start, watching that peek over toward side cabin. It actually gets met with a shot from TriggySoars, as it looks like the Codcaster will end up having a little bit of issues yet again. Silly, oh, this is hurting my eyes. I can't. I have to go back above. I have to go back above. This is hurting my eyes a lot.
Yep, this is, well, it's a comedy of errors, folks. I mean, again, this is just working out the kinks. Why we pretty much have.
Let me see. I'm just doing this on the fly. I'm going through this. I'm going through the display settings to see if I can fix this at all. No, is it not going to work?
We hope so. At this point, see if.
Oh, somebody went around. Is it United?
Exactly.
Oh no,
it's actually going to be.
It was Emperor who won that.
And it's very interesting here. I mean, eUnited being one of those few teams that.
Oh, okay, TriggySoars. Okay.
Nice little kill right there.
I like
to
that.
say the least.
That was a nice shot.
Was indeed a nice shot. And eUnited was one of those teams that actually decided to stick together for this Call of Duty. A lot of other teams deciding to go with some more veteran players, and eUnited said, nope, pretty much good. I think that's what they were intending to do the second they got Clayster as a part of their roster.
Absolutely. Now, I think what happens is that when I go on board with someone who dies, oh no, it's just going to do it for me. All right, I'll let it control it for me. That's fine. Yeah, it just randomly switches for me, so I'm not exactly sure, you know, who to be looking aboard with, and then this is when it speeds up, I think, maybe. Clayster, Silly. Who do we go to next? Clayster. Back to Clayster. Sniper rifle out. M19. That's a nice camo. He actually got a pretty nice camo on that. I like
Lando, I just figured out something.
What's that?
You know, a codcaster is one singular. It's a singular noun. It's not codcasters. You want to know what's something funny? I think we were switching them at the same time. Wow, look at that, guys. Now
oh my god, Clayster.
As Clayster rips off Triggy's torso, I think we just had a breakthrough here at the UMG studio.
Did we?
Thanks to the guy who does a little bit of freelancing over here. But Clayster, now in the house with the sniper rifle, the Lee Enfield, I believe, and then Mealy gets down. Sit down, kid. Last man alive. Silly and sit down, kid. 1v1. Who is going to take this one? At this point, sit down, kid. PPSH machine pistol will get taken down by Silly in the FG42. And eUnited will now be up 2-1 in this round.
So are you seeing exactly what I'm seeing, James? I'm so confused right now. I'm not gonna lie. I'm having a hard time focusing.
We see the exact same thing. So you know.
Okay, that's awesome though. That's really cool.
I am going to put my controller down.
All right.
I will throw my scuff across the room.
This is awesome.
Lando, I put my life in your hands.
All right, who are you looking at right now?
Round number 4 of this game.
Who are you looking at right now?
Oh, I'm taking a look at Prestinni.
Okay, cool. I'm just making sure that it's working functionally. Okay, well, we figured it out. It was just a matter of us really wanting to go on board with different people. So that seems that that's the issue. Right now, it is the side of United who's up 2-1. It's been an interesting game, at least for the commentators up to this point. But regardless, I think we've managed to get things underway. 2 players dropping. Silly now actually catches one off guard. And that weapon... Going to be hearing that one quite a bit. That is known as the bar. A lot of people's opinions, probably one of the better guns currently in World War II. Not the best regarded by professional players up to this point. And that dirty machine pistol. I don't know if you've been seeing it, James, as the bomb will go down here from Silly. That machine pistol is by far the best secondary that I've seen in a very long time. I know Jetpack Call of Duties have not been kind when it comes down to the secondary pistols, but it seems World War II is on a different note. They are enjoying that machine pistol, and it does a lot of work.
It does a lot of work at close range, but as soon as you get out to farther ranges, you're sometimes better off using that M1911. But then again, a lot of these players are using sniper rifles, assault rifles, those kind of guns.
Indeed. Looks like TriggySoars coming up top. Trying to really sitting inside of ruins at the moment. Peeks up and nice shot there onto Silly. Headshot at that one. 1v1. Not a whole lot of time. Clayster just needs to play the timeout. Fortunately for him, he does have the sniper rifle, so this could get a little bit awkward, but should be an easy kill. The leg shot will do it. As it will now be the side of eUnited up 3-1, and Clayster still doing damage, as you're going to see him here in the Bronze Star. Final kill cam as well. I got to say, the bomb defuse / bomb plant, it's a little bit interesting. I'm not sure what your opinions are when it comes down to the animation, but it does look like they are playing with like a toy when they're actually planting an explosive.
Well, you know, you got to think about the authenticity of World War II here. And I mean, back in World War II, you didn't really have the laptops that were pretty much around in these newer Call of Duty games. So they had to get creative, and pretty much Sledgehammer Games went out, saw how these kind of bombs were done. I mean, there were certain charges used on the battlefield of World War II, and maybe for this, for a very small explosive, like one used in Search and Destroy, there's a little bit of a time bomb that is set pretty much at the location.
Potentially. Sit down, kid. Bomb in hand. Currently 6-3. Playing very well despite being down 2 rounds for the moment, as they are looking to try to get this bomb down over toward this B side. If we're not able to see, at least in players scrimming and whatnot, it seems that the B side is definitely the more preferred one. A lot easier to get to, but except you've got to lock down that angle inside of Ruins. That's exactly what Arcitys is making them pay for that. And now Swirllix up top, also going to get picked off. Arcitys doing some damage, but he will get dropped there. TriggySoars, 1-on-2, as Prestinni will shut him down, picking up for his fallen brother, literally, as it will now be 4 rounds to 1. Pretty dominant performance from what we've expected so far here, James. eUnited in full control of the game.
I mean, let's be real, Lando. Whenever you see a team like eUnited get up against, their first round opponent, you're going to expect them to pretty much win this. And honestly, all these players using a cavalcade of assault rifles, most likely the BAR, the FG-42, and the STG-44. Those are the 3 guns that pros are preferring so far in Call of Duty World War II. And that may change as, the game goes on. As right here, Sit Down Kid did it at the PPSH.
Pre-nades, snipers, exactly what you like to expect from a team who has had a pretty heavy beginning as far as when they've gotten the game, when they've been able to grind it. As it will now be KrustyTheCrab in a 1-on-3, making his way through mid-cut, looking over toward Ruins, and he should get dropped pretty easily, and that's exactly what will take place. Now 5 rounds to 1 in favor of the side of eUnited, and Prestinni yet again involved here for that Bronze Star, and actually in back-to-back situations also with that final kill. As I know we've talked about different weapons and whatnot. I got to know, in your opinion, James, what's the weapon of choice for you right now? What's the creative class looking like for James Matone?
Well, I'm trying to go for the chase camos. I want to try to get gold and diamond. That's what I do in pub lobbies all the time. So, unfortunately, I'm trying to do from pistols all the way up to the sniper rifles.
Ooh,
so,
that's rough. Yeah.
I'm pretty much stuck on those, and then also the light machine guns. And the Lewis, it was banned from competitive. I don't know why, because it's a horrible weapon.
I mean, hey. I know you were talking about rapid fire earlier. Maybe it was a thing at one point. Who knows?
No, it would. My KD's around like 0.25 right now.
Oh,
so, yeah.
I wouldn't say that out loud.
The least we talk about, the better. I mean, Sit Down Kid getting a kill into Silly. That's something to talk about.
Ooh,
almost gets the 2-piece, but Prestinni catches him with his pants down. And now a 2v3. Now 1v3 as Arcitys left all alone, has to clutch this round. If he does so, then map number 1 is going to go in favor of eUnited.
Definitely looks like it could be that way. Just a matter of time for how fast that could take place. Arcitys 1-on-3. Swirllix with that bomb in hand, yet to get it down here on this A side, as they're going to push their way up here toward cabin, but that's where Arcitys is thinking the push could be made. Just playing fairly passively, checking every angle ever so slowly. Going to enter in. This actually could be an awesome time for him. Finds one, actually might have spotted the second. Not sure if teammates involved with watching his perspective might have called that one out to him. As one wrapping back around is TriggySoars, as Arcitys does spot the gun barrel. Finds another 1v1. KrustyTheCrab versus Arcitys. This would be a 1-on-3 if Arcitys can clutch this one out. Checking from the side. Can he pick him off? But no, KrustyTheCrab is there. And I can't say that without laughing a little bit, because KrustyTheCrab is a very interesting gamer tag. But hey, shout out. Shout out to KrustyTheCrab, man. He's doing it. Blocked out the 1v3. That's 2 rounds now for Emperor.
Yeah, Lando, I honestly think that pretty much that entire play just is a prime separation of the pros from the amateurs at this rate. I mean, Arcitys honestly should not have gotten those 2 first kills. I mean, KrustyTheCrab, while he did get the last kill there, he really needed to call those players out, get a couple shots into Arcitys, and by the skin of his teeth, just put this game right back here in game number 1 on Arcitys Forest.
Indeed, and Clayster still watching over with that sniper rifle. Looks like a B push here for the side of eUnited. Nade out as well. We'll see if that gets any damage done whatsoever. Silly looking like he could be one of the entry fraggers, at least for the moment. Picks up Sit Down Kid as it's now a 3-on-3. Still pushing that bomb forward. Aggressive rush is working out for eUnited yet again. And now TriggySoars does have that machine pistol in his back pocket. Of course, the M19 is his sniper rifle. And KrustyTheCrab with that bar out. With the expected attachments, of course, quick draw, grip, along with the reflex sight. I know a lot of pro players have been kind of debating so far, James, is the fact of maybe using grip on ARs. Is it worth it? Is it not worth it? I know depending on your play style, it's like KrustyTheCrab will find one. Now, Silly left in a 1-on-2. It seems like a lot of the professional players, whenever they were first hopping on, were saying, essentially, is grip needed? Is it really useful? And it was kind of a mixed argument from all of them as the sneak defuse is actually coming in. Is Silly going to find them in time? Yes, finds one, finds the second, but no, the defuse will come in. That was a very narrow ending. I thought that Silly had picked him off in time, but the defuse will go down. As it's Emperor, who are not out of this one just yet. I'm off talking about weapon styles and how things are looking. And before I know it, Emperor, they're only down by 2 rounds. Granted, the side of eUnited could easily close this one out if they were to play correctly. But still, just saying, can't count these guys out. It's a new game, James. It's a new game.
Definitely so. On with sit down kick, and he immediately gets naded. All right, I was going to say,
the molly.
A lot of hope, and then immediately the nade comes in.
Oh.
Now, 4v2, Triggy all alone. And even before I can get a word of commentary in, the entire side of Emperor is essentially down with Triggy left in a 1v4 with the Lee Enfield sniper rifle to try to live with. And he's definitely getting down here. Almost gets the quick scope.
I would have gave him the round. I would have gave him the round if he would have hit that shot.
Oh, are you kidding me? Come on.
I think it's fair. I think it's fair if he would have hit that shot. It's like, hey, United, we're going to let this one replay just because that was an insane shot, and we're not going to let that happen. But regardless, map number 1 is in the books. It was an interesting one for us. Regardless, though, it is done and dusted, as eUnited will, in what we would expect, take Arcitys Forest. They do take that one at 6-3, along with Silly dropping 10-4. Prestinni just behind him at 8-5, and Arcitys and Clayster both with 6 kills apiece. On the opposite side, though, was Sit Down Kid, who played it fairly well, 8-8 for him, and TriggySoars at the end at 7-7. Most of the time did have that sniper rifle out as well, but some interesting strategies. We were kind of talking about the sniper rifle play when it comes down to this map. Some interesting strategies kind of being brought out from either team. One thing that I noticed off the gate, I'm not sure about you, James, was the pre-nades that we saw from eUnited. Constant finding those first bloods, mixed along with the fact of Clayster having that sniper rifle out, being a nuisance in mid-map, being a nuisance over toward that A side or inside bunker for his offensive side. That was just always an issue, I feel like, for the side of Emperor, was that they couldn't just stay up. Like, they couldn't find that first blood and kind of get moving forward. It was always a permanent, 4v3 or 4v2 to kind of start the rounds off.
That's right, Lando. And honestly, for the side of eUnited, I mean, they probably should have won maybe 1 or 2 of those rounds that they wound up losing to Emperor. Emperor really just seemed like, again, like an amateur team. I think that, this is a first-round matchup. You're not really expecting so much out of them. And yet they were able to come away with these sloppy victories away from eUnited. And, I mean, I'm actually, happy that Silly is finding his own here, because pretty much he was the lost in the eUnited shuffle all of last year with the rise of Gunless and then Clayster coming over, and then, of course, the twins Arcitys and Prestinni. So it's great to see Silly really come into his own in this game. And while that really isn't just the first game, his first competitive match on a UMG tournament, while that's definitely not a look at how he's going to do this season, I mean, it would be very interesting to see him pretty much go back into his form and pretty much was how he was back in Black Ops 2, where he plays pretty well in a couple of UMG events.
Oh, man. Well, I believe we are going to head to a commercial break. I did receive word from our broadcast team that we do need to take the stream down just for a moment to iron one thing out. I'm not exactly sure what the reasoning was behind it, but I know we do have to quick shut these things down just for a moment. But do not fret, guys. We'll be back for map number 2. It will be S&D on Gibraltar between eUnited and Emperor. We will be right back. Welcome back, everyone, to the 4v4 Search and Destroy here for World War II. It's our first tournament, it's our first series, but it is our second map, and Clayster rocking off here with the M19 sniper rifle, heading into some Gibraltar for map number 2. Like I said, peeking forward and able to find that first blood along with Arcitys, who shuts down TriggySoars in a minute 2v4 situation. And it looks like Triggy also going to get picked off. KrustyTheCrab now left in a 1v4 situation. I know we're kind of hopping into this round quick, but kind of update you guys. Map number 1 was on Arcitys Forest. We had a few issues with the Codcaster. We figured it out. Everything should be good to go. We're just kind of relying on those servers to be stable for us this evening. But Major prize pool going on for us. Of course, our first broadcasted tournament here from the studio. It's myself, Lando, of course, here, and I've got James Matone with me from home. James, map number 1 went pretty, obviously in this favor of eUnited, but there were a few rounds where we started to see the side of Emperor have some moments, finding some kills here and there. TriggySoars was having a decent performance. Sit Down Kid had some times with that PPSH. Of course, it's a different map. In your opinion, how does Gibraltar play? If there was one thing to be looking out for when it comes down to Gibraltar Search and Destroy, is there anything that you've noticed so far from the matches that you've seen to really be taking away from?
Well, Gibraltar, again, is like one of those smaller maps that really just plays those close-range engagements. I mean, pretty much right by a bomb site by the Fort Comms building and the bunker. It seems a lot of teams that start on defense like to go through there and pretty much try to get the snipe down. That's what Clayster did to kind of counter with his sniper rifle. But unfortunately, after he killed 2 people, I think he may have fell off the map. I'm not sure. I just all of a sudden see Clayster immediately dies on his own, and I'm not going to try to question it. So it's very interesting to see what these initial strategies are going to be, because we haven't really seen a lot of Gibraltar Search and Destroy in sort of the test matches here for World War II. So we'll see how these players play it out.
Absolutely. Of course, giving some love to the new overhead shot that we have on Concaster now. Clayster getting that bomb down after a few kills have happened. 2 of them already dropping for the side of Emperor, as it will be TriggySoars and a sit-down kid last alive. TriggySoars just spots the head of one that is going to be on Silly. Does have the sniper rifle in his back pocket. Can hit that shot. Snipers are good, but not good enough there for him. And Silly's going to get met in the end, as he will find both of those kills. eUnited now going to be up 2-0, what we would expect, but pretty interesting plays. I know when it comes down to Gibraltar, of course, A is going to be over on the turret, and B just below that area just where Silly is at in that middle map area. Very open bomb site, not one that you're going to see happen very often, at least from what I've been able to witness. But if you can kind of rush, get those first bloods, and really kind of make an impact early on in the round, that's where you can get that bomb down pretty quickly. And it seems that eUnited is kind of flexing their muscles, kind of showing off to us why exactly they are the more dominant slaying team by making their way over to that B bomb site.
That's right, Lando. And really what I wanted to mention before is that sniper rifles in this game are completely different to sniper rifles in the jetpack era. I mean, that's why pretty much you see Clayster sometimes Silly even rock them now, because, the accuracy is so much better since you don't have to worry about that verticality aspect.
Absolutely. Definitely making things a lot more influential when it comes down to maps. As TriggySoars 1v3, some excellent shots being fired there. As Clayster going to take out his teammate Silly. Most likely maybe some arguments in the voice chat right now. I'm not exactly sure. But regardless, long shot there from Triggy. Nice one there with the PPSH at range. That's not an easy shot to hit. The PPSH, while it is a great weapon, it can be very difficult to aim with. And it looks like he's going to make it look very easy there from TriggySoars. So Clayster will take out his teammate Silly. And it's not going to work out for him in the end. I mean, hate to say that as far as momentum is considered. That definitely could have been the driving force why United lost that round, but hey, TriggySoars hits 2 nice long-range shots with the PPSH. Got to give him credit.
Definitely so. It's really honestly so hard to do that with the fire rate as well as the range on that gun, like you mentioned. And maybe that team kill from Clayster really came to bite them back in the butt right here. United only have 2-1 going into round number 4.
And it looks like they're going to be making yet again another push here as Silly finds an early nade on the Swirllix. That push into B being very popular off the start as Clayster yet again finding another kill. And this is the issue that I've been saying that we've been having with Emperor, and it's most likely due to the fact of players having the game early, learning the game, obviously scrimming and whatnot, is the fact of those first bloods. Those first 2 kills have been going the way of eUnited every single round, and it's obviously very difficult. I mean, there obviously are stats regarding first bloods. Well, how are stats regarding when it comes into the first 2 kills? Immediate 2v4s happening for the side of Emperor, and it's just a matter of overall knowledge of the game, and it seems that eUnited has done exactly what they need to. Is their homework early on, and that's definitely showing in this game. As Silly picking up the final kill over on Sit Down Kid.
And not only that, Lando, I mean, we're talking about guys that have completed the Call of Duty World League, have won hundreds of thousands of dollars over several years, going up against kids who, honestly, I don't think they've really made it into like a top 32 at any event. So just keep that in mind that, this again is a first round matchup. eUnited definitely expected to win this. So again, any victory from this Emperor team is a big one, no matter how small.
Nades, Silly, Prestinni, doing it round after round after round. At the side of Emperor, trying to huddle up here right now instead of tunnels. making their way over toward A. There is one player who's going to be here. That is going to be Arcitys. So being aware of such, realizing that backside push could be one that is likely. Arcitys is just going to spot one, decides to go back up. We'll most likely call that one over to his teammates as you're going to see the overall influx come through. 3 from the front, 1 toward the back. That is going to be Prestinni from the flank, and the machine pistol doing some damage as he'll find one, distract Swirllix, and it should be Arcitys at range who will finish off that fight. That's exactly what happens in that round. That's something that I really want to kind of point out, James. It just goes to show the immediate kind of call for eUnited is once Arcitys calls that one out to his teammates, hey, they're making their way over here toward the turret, they're making their way here toward that A site, is the fact that they all, 2 of them rush forward, and then Prestinni comes with the flank to immediately kind of make that overall push one that is not possible to go down. At least if that fight was going to happen, they're making sure that bomb doesn't get planted in one way or the other. And that just goes to show teams who have already done their homework.
That's right, Lando. And also, I think they really favor that A bomb site because B can get a little bit too hectic. But with the A bomb site, you really have to get the high ground right there, whether it's in the caves or what eUnited did in the building to the south of the bomb site, as well as the stairs.
Absolutely. Sniper out right now here for TriggySoars. Trying to do some damage. 2v2. So at least a round currently where the man count is even. However, the bomb is down for the moment. STG, I believe, picked up in the back pocket. Only 9 bullets, though. As it looks like Prestinni now last alive, receiving a little bit of nade damage there as 25 seconds left. Spots one of the bomb. Just narrowly misses a sniper bullet, which goes past his ear, whistling past him. Regardless, Prestinni will drop, and sit-down kid will be grabbing the defuse. As it will now be 4 rounds to 2. Emperor still hanging in there. However, those first bloods, those second bloods as well, definitely playing favor toward the side of eUnited. And we'll see if Emperor, over time, like I said, that was a 2v2 gunfight. Whenever they're in these, even fights, this is when they can start to have success. But they, honestly, to me, just need to play a little bit more passively. Kind of wait for the fights to kind of come through. Maybe rely on a sniper to try and find that first blood, which I don't believe they have one out for this offensive round. It could, actually, no, it is going to be TriggySoars, who gets naded by Arcitys, in fact. But trying to rely on those first bloods could be huge. And that's exactly what's plaguing them at the moment, is dying to those.
That's right, Lando, and honestly, just the grenades from eUnited are just ravaging this Emperor team. Now it's Swirllix with the bar. Going to go on left side of B-bomb. We'll spot Prestinni on the way there, but right there, Lando, it doesn't matter how early you have the game. Your shot's on, your shot's on, and with Prestinni going 7-4 now, 7-5 going down there, eUnited going to be taking this round 5-2.
It's an interesting reticle that Prestinni actually has there on that bar. I've not really seen too many players rock that one up to this point. However, Silly preferring that FG42. That's one that is not really likely. Like I was talking about earlier, that was the gun that he immediately went to. And I know that was also a weapon yesterday before the game had obviously come out that Karma from Optic Gaming was praising quite a bit, saying that gun is, in his opinion, one of the best ARs, if not the best AR in the entire game. I know a lot of players would kind of counter that one with maybe the bar, maybe the STG a little bit, depending on playstyles and whatnot. But, it kind of depends on overall playstyle. But I think the bar, at least from an overall standpoint, is definitely one that's preferred for most teams, as Arcitys and Prestinni are both rocking that current weapon. And it looks like Silly swapping here, of course, with the FG. And Clayster also with the bar. So 4 AR setups. As no SMGs out for them. As Clayster coming out to play. Finds one. Nearly finds the second. As it will be a 3v2 advantage right now toward the side of Emperor.
And Prestinni going to be waiting this one out as his brother goes down now. 1v3 situation. Gets Krusty right there with the bar. But immediately gets sit down by who else but sit down kid. And Emperor not out of this one yet. And Lando, you know what's the really interesting thing? In the original settings for competitive this year, they didn't ban any of the shotguns, only incendiary rounds. And I haven't seen any team, or really in this game, whip out a shotgun yet in competitive.
Definitely could be a thing. I think when it comes down to, what is it, USS Texas, there's a few kind of close quarter angles in that search and destroy map where that could be possible. You have that inside angle inside the ship. Could do some damage, but I think it's kind of like high risk, high reward. And the issue right now, I think, for the side of Emperor, if they want to pull out a shotgun, it's the fact of trying to get in the face of the side of eUnited because they constantly are getting first blooded. Yet again, another one coming in from Prestinni as he will find 2. And KrustyTheCrab, after realizing streaks have come down, and sit-down kid will find Silly. It is currently a 2v2 as Clayster also drops. STG out, and Arcitys making him look silly. Shuts down KrustyTheCrab. As now it will be sit-down kid in a 1-on-2. Rocking the streaks here. And this could work out for him. Spawning Prestinni, but not finding any kills along with it. So he does have knowledge, but not enough to finish off the round, as it will be Prestinni from the flank with the machine pistol to close things out, as it will be a 2-0 in the books, but one that was fairly close there, James. Got to hand it to the side of Emperor. That definitely held their own when it came down to certain rounds.
That's right, Lando, and honestly, we really expected this eUnited team to steamroll through Emperor, but hey, maybe it's early enough in the game where it's really anyone's game here in this UMG tournament. I mean, obviously, the tournament was originally scheduled for 1 a.m. last night, but due to server issues, it was transplanted to tonight. And maybe that's given a lot of these amateurs that haven't had a lot of time with the game enough time to learn it well enough to compete with the pros.
Absolutely, definitely going to make things a little bit more even. However, the major story of that game was just the fact of eUnited having a number of different nade spots. Knowledge, early first bloods kind of going their way. Definitely caught the side of Emperor off guard when the dominance of eUnited definitely shown, along with their knowledge plus their overall slowing ability, which can make things a little bit difficult to try and counter back from. But of course, a 2-0 in the books for round number 1 as eUnited will progress on. Of course, we will get some updates for you guys as the tournament does progress as to how the other pro teams are currently doing in the tournament.